everyone, today I am giving you information on the topic myopia. This is the myopia part 3, in which we will give you information about the pathological myopia, which is the third type of myopia. Now, the pathological myopia is also known as degenerative myopia as well as the progressive myopia. As the name indicates, it is rapidly progressive error which starts in the childhood at the 5 to 10 years of age and results in high myopia, which is more than 6 diopters during early adult life, which is usually associated with the degenerative changes in the eye. It is much less common, about 2% of population. Now, pathological myopia has three names. First one is pathological myopia, second one is degenerative myopia, and the third one is progressive myopia. As the name indicates, progressive means it keeps on increasing. Okay, it begins at the childhood at the age of 5 to 10 years only, and it results in high myopia, which means it keeps on increasing and will be more than -6 diopters and reaches at the more than -6 diopters in the adult life of a patient, which is usually associated with the degenerative changes. Now, degenerative changes also takes place inside the eye of a patient in case of pathological myopia, and it is much less common. It takes place only in about 2% of population. Next one is etiology. Now, the pathological myopia is directly linked with two things. First one is the role of heredity, those characters which are passed on from the parents to their offspring. So, pathological myopia gets passed on from the parents to offsprings. Next one is role of general growth process. Let's see one by one. Role of genetic factors. Now, what are the genetic factors? Genetic factors plays an important role in the pathological myopia. In this case, there is a more growth of the retina, which leads to the stretching of sclera, which leads to the increase in axial length. Due to increase in axial length, degeneration of retina takes place and degeneration of vitreous takes place. Let's see increased axial length. Now, if you can notice that the axial length is the length of the eyeball, basically it is the normal axial length. Emetropia means normal eye, and in case of myopia the axial length becomes increasing. Okay, so in case of myopia the axial length increases in the pathological myopia, whereas in case of hypermetropia the axial length get decreases. So in this case the length of the eyeball, or we can say the axial length, get increases in the case of myopia. Next one, degeneration of retina. As we all know that this last layer is known as retina. In the retina the macula is present. Okay, at the site of the macula the image is formed. If only this point is known as macula. Okay, this point is known as macula where the image is formed. The whole retina is the peripheral retina, but the macula is one of the important part where the image is formed only. Okay, when anything takes place with the macula, then it affects the vision of the patient. Okay, so in case of degeneration of macula, basically two things are there. First one is wet macular degeneration and the second one is dry macular degeneration. Now, in case of wet macular, in case of normal retina, you can see that this is the macula is present and the fovea centralis is present and the optic disc is present. Okay, in case of wet macular degeneration, the leaked blood vessels are seen and fluid is seen. Blood vessels are present on the retina which gets leaked in case of wet macular degeneration, and there is a growth of abnormal blood vessels. Normal blood vessels are present there, but extra growth of blood vessels takes place in case of wet macular degeneration. In case of dry macular degeneration, the drusen are present. Okay, these yellow things, yellow dots are present, which are known as drusens, and it get filled up in case of dry macular degeneration. Okay, let's move to the next, degeneration of vitreous. Now, in case of vitreous, three things takes place: posterior vitreous detachment, vitreous hemorrhage takes place. Okay, so basically the vitreous is a kind of gel which is present inside the eye. The gel starts liquefies according to the age, and someone, the patient has a more minus number, due to which the gel gets liquefies, and due to the liquefaction of the gel these kind of floaters are seen. When the patient looks at the sky, then he or she feels that something snail like or earthworm like something is going uh, moving here and there inside the sky. Okay, so these floaters are seen, and sometimes the flashes are also seen. You will recognize that the light is coming from any direction inside the eye. No one is torching, no one is leaving the light like a torch, but you feels that the light is coming. These are the flashes. Okay, so these are the symptoms that there is a degeneration of vitreous. Now, there is a thick jelly which gets liquefied and it gives birth to the floaters. Sometimes in case of posterior vitreous detachment, here if you can see that the retina is attached, okay, here the vitreous get detached. Vitreous is a kind of liquid or a jelly is present which get detached from the retina, okay. So this condition is known as posterior vitreous detachment. Posterior means backside, and backside of the vitreous get detached from the retina. This is known as posterior vitreous detachment. And next one is the vitreous hemorrhage. In case of vitreous hemorrhage, the blood vessels get leaked and the blood comes inside the vitreous. Blood comes inside the gel, which is known as a vitreous hemorrhage. So its treatment is vitrectomy, which is a kind of surgery. Okay. Let's move to the next. Role of journal growth process. Now, journal growth process plays a minor role inside the pathological myopia. Some factors are nutritional deficiency. Will eat, but we are taking a diet, but is not a balanced diet. So we have to take the proper carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, which are important for the healthy eye. So there is a nutritional deficiency due to which the pathological myopia increases, and sometimes debilitating diseases. Next one, clinical picture. Now what is the clinical picture? Inside the clinical picture, two things are there. First one is the symptoms and second one are the signs. In case of symptoms, first one is defective vision. Vision is there but the vision is defective. It is considerable failure in the visual function as the error is usually high. When the error is usually very high, then it will become failure of the visual function. Okay, the vision of the patient becomes 1 meter, 2 meter, half meter in case of high myopic patients. Okay, so sometimes there are degenerative changes takes place. For example, I have shown you degeneration of vitreous takes place, degeneration of retina takes place. Due to the degenerative changes, there is an uncorrectable loss of vision. We are not be able to find whatever is there, but there is a loss of vision may also occurs, and it gives birth to the defective vision. Patient is not be able to see clearly. Next one, stackable entities. In case of this, floating back opacities in front of the eyes may also complain by the patient. As I have shown you, floaters are seen. So these are basically floaters, okay, which the person can see that something is moving at the sky and it rotates as we rotate our eyes. So this is the complaint by the patient. This occurs due to degenerated liquefied vitreous. Vitreous is basically a gel which gets liquefied. Due to the liquefaction of the gel, black opacities are seen to the patient. Night blindness. Night blindness is also complained by the patient which have a high myopic and those who have a degenerative changes. Next one are signs. Now in case of signs, prominent eyeballs. Eyeballs are there, but we can see that these eyeballs are bulging. Okay, so this eyeball is bulging. It comes out. It seems to be like it is coming out as compared to the normal eye. Cornea is large. Cornea is a transparent layer which is present at our eye, so it becomes very large. Anterior chamber is deep. AC is deep according to the normal. Pupils are slightly large and react sluggishly to the light. If you can notice here that this is a pupil and it is a very large. Pupil is the black part. Pupil is large and it reacts lazily to the light. If we shine a torch to the pupil, it reacts, but it reacts sluggishly or lazily it reacts to the light. Fundus examination reveals the following characteristic. Now the fundus is seen. Fundus is basically the retina. In case of retina, you will see the optic disc. uh, it is large and pale. Degenerative changes takes place in the retina and choroid. Vitreous degenerative changes show liquefaction, PVD, and vitreous detachment. Okay, disc becomes normally large. This is the normal disc. Okay, this one is the optic disc, which is normal. This one is the macula, which is the normal, and these are the blood vessels which are present on the retina. Okay, so let's move to the next. What are the complications of pathological myopia? First one is retinal detachment. Retina gets detached. Okay, next one is complicated cataract. Here if you can see that this is the complicated cataract. Okay, you can see that this is a web like structure is present here, which is a complicated cataract, which is seen in the pathological myopic or the high myopic patients. Next one is vitreous hemorrhage. Okay, so here the vitreous hemorrhage is present. The blood vessels are present inside the retina which gets leaked. Okay, leaked blood vessels are present here. The blood comes to the vitreous, which is shown like that. Next one is the choroidal hemorrhage. Here is the choroidal hemorrhage. Again, leakage of the blood vessels, and the blood comes from the choroid. That is why it is known as choroidal hemorrhage. And the fourth, fifth, and the last one is the strabismus fixus convergence. In case of this one is the right eye of the patient and this one is the left eye of the patient. If you can notice that this is the esotropia, which means the convergence is there. The patient is converging his or her eyeball to inside or the nasal side, and it is fixate here. We are not supposed to move the eyeball here and in any kind of direction. It is a fixate. That is why it is known as strabismus fixus convergence, because it is fixed at one place. Let's move to the next one. What is the treatment of myopia? Optical treatment of myopia constitutes prescription of appropriate concave lens so that clear image is formed on the retina. We will always give minus lenses to the myopic patients so that the clear image is formed on the retina. Basic rule of correcting myopia is converse of hypermetropia. In case of hypermetropia, we will give the maximum correction to the patient, but in case of myopia, we will give the minimum acceptance or minimum correction to the patient, which will give the maximum vision. Okay. In very high myopia, under correction, we will always give the under correction so that the patient will see the near things clearly. Okay, because the myopia always helps in near vision. As there is a strongest myopia, the near point should be very good. The patient is able to see from the near very clearly as the myopia gets strong. As the hypermetropia is high, patient is able to look at the distance very clearly. Okay, modes of prescribing concave lens and spectacles and contact lenses. Will prescribe the concave lens in form of spectacles as well as in form of contact lenses. Contact lenses are justified in case of high myopia. If a patient has high myopia and he have to look cosmetic point of view very good, then the patient can wear the contact lenses. And sometimes in case of high myopia, there is a distortion takes place, minification of images is seen, so the patient can use the contact lenses, because in case of spectacle, wherever the glass will cover and the patient will see clearly, but in case of temporal region, if you can see the air side where the glass is not present, then the image will be seen blurred or distorted by the patient. So in case of high myopes, will prescribe the contact lenses to the patient. Next one, surgical treatment of myopia is becoming very popular nowadays. Surgical treatment is also done, which is LASIK. Different type of LASIK are there which are done to treat the myopia cosmetic point of view. Next one, general measures empirically believed to affect the progress of myopia include balanced diet of vitamins and minerals. Good balanced diet of vitamins and minerals is provided to the patient so that to reduce the myopia sometimes. This was the end. Thanks for your patience listening.